is yours, the world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, whose world is this?
Yo, what's good everyone? It's Leak and I'm back with another video. Now today I want to talk about killer powers that we need in Dead by Daylight, and this could be for any licensed killer, original killer, it doesn't even matter. I really do think that these powers need to be seen in the game. They're unique, they're different, rather they're possibly weak or could turn out weak. I still think that they should be in the game because I still think it'll be pretty fun, you know what I'm trying to say. But off the rip, let's get right into this. So the first power I think should really be in DBD is a telekinetic power. Now we already, don't get me wrong, we already have Sadako, but her power is not strictly telekinetic, her animations only are. I'm talking about a killer that could possibly like break pallets from a distance with its telekinetic abilities, you know what I'm trying to say? Like open lockers, maybe even like control survivors from a distance using his telekinetic abilities, kind of like Darth Vader in a way. Maybe, I don't know, throwing objects at survivors, something crazy like that. I mean, maybe not really throwing objects, or maybe so, because what it say if it's an area where there's not really objects around, like cowshed, it's just like flat, it's not really objects to really be thrown around, unless they was to make it where if a killer does throw objects at survivors, maybe you just place objects around the map. I don't know how I really feel about that, because that just seems kind of weird in itself. I think that's the only way I could really see a killer with a telekinetic ability. I think I can only see them either, like for example, just possibly blocking windows by like pulling the survivors towards them with their telekinetic abilities, or just breaking pallets from a distance or something like that. I feel like the power will just be like very beneficial for killers who just wants to get rid of pallets and wants to stop the survivors from going through the windows and stuff like that. I think that's how a killer with a telekinetic ability would be like. Now there's probably something I'm missing, but that's literally the first thing that came to my mind, was just something like Darth Vader, where they could literally just control the survivor, like stop what the survivor is doing for a second, pull them closer, or just break a pallet from a distance, or even both, you know what I'm trying to say. So I think a power like that would be pretty dope in DBD. The next power is a crawling power. Now I think honestly, if we was to get a killer that can crawl literally on trees, on anything, crawl sideways, upside down like Spider-Man, I think literally that would be the funnest killer in Dead by Daylight. Like really, I really do think that a killer like that has extreme amount of potential. I really think a killer like that will really grow the player base. Just add a killer that could crawl, bro. Like, come on. It's probably hard. I know it is. I know it'll probably be hard with the animations and stuff, with the trees, climbing up the trees, climbing up the buildings. But just imagine how dope will that be. Imagine you're on Haddonfield, right? And you're doing the gen upstairs, and you just so happen to see a killer crawl through the window, and you just like, what the hell? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that would be the scariest thing in the world. They really need to add a killer that could crawl. Like, I think that just speaks alone for itself. A killer that can just crawl. That's their power, just crawl. You know what I'm trying to say? Crawl, possibly pounce from tree to tree like a monkey, pounce from house to house. That would be a dope power. I'm talking about like Victor Pounce, by the way, like a really huge lunge. You know what I'm trying to say? Like a spider type killer. That would be pretty dope seeing. I think that would be a really dope chapter if he was to have a chapter where the killer could pounce and crawl. That would be the funnest thing in the world, hands down. I would insta main. I don't even care if I would lose. That joint would just be so much fun, just crawling, jumping around the map. So much fun. I could already see it in the game. The devs just need to add it. They probably have a killer like that coming soon, and we don't even know. You know what I'm trying to say? So who knows? The next power is a fire power. Now, surprisingly, we don't have any killer that's associated with fire in any way, shape, or form, which is very surprising to me, because you would expect us to have a killer where their power is like fire already, right? Or any type of common element, because we surprisingly don't have an ice killer either. You know what I'm trying to say? We don't have a water type killer. We don't have a killer that's dealing with nature. But I think fire is so common to the point where I'm surprised that we don't have a killer dealing with fire already. Nemesis could have been the first one with his flamethrower. I think that would have been pretty dope, seeing Nemesis use his flamethrower to burn survivors or burn pathways where survivors can't go through, and then he could just be his destructive self. But there's other ways. Like, I know I saw this thing where it was a firefighter killer that supposedly got leaked, quote unquote, but turns out that was fake. Firefighter's power was to set the scratch marks of the survivor on fire. I think that would be pretty dope. I really don't know how that would work though, because it's like the survivors have to run away from you. So to set their scratch marks on fire like mid chase, I think that's a bit OP. I really don't have any idea how that will work at all. Maybe you could just use it from a certain range. Like maybe if you're 24 meters away from a survivor and they happen to just keep running away from you, then you just set their scratch marks on fire and then the fire will follow them. But then that's easy to counter because of the fact that all they will have to do is just walk at certain points and then boom, the fire is gone. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but I'm surprised we don't have a killer with fire, with any type of firepower already. This next one is very, how can I say it, controversial in a way, only because I know it will be weak, but I know it will be mad fun at the same time. Behavior, please just add a doppelganger killer. I don't care how weak it is, that joint will be so much fun in DVD. It's not even funny. I don't care if they are swift, they on comms, I really don't care. I just want to run around as a killer slash survivor and possibly fool some people. I think that would be pretty funny and fun at the same time. Maybe add more on top of it, like, how can I say, like maybe a concept where the doppelganger killer also has some sort of ability where it has like a touch of death almost. So say if the killer was to touch any item or chest or anything like that, or gen, and the next survivor that touches it in the next like 30 seconds, they will be like exposed or anything like that. And what happens is they scream, they reveal themselves, they're exposed, and then the killer, being the doppelganger, could possibly sneak up as a survivor and try to down that survivor that touched that item or gen or chest or anything like that because they're exposed. You know what I'm trying to say? Something like that. I feel like you could add more to it. Dealing with a doppelganger, I think that would be pretty dope. They don't just have to, that doesn't just have to be their only ability where they just disguise as a survivor or anything like that. I really think that it could be much more added on top of it just to make them a bit more powerful, because obviously comms will destroy half their power, and half their power being the doppelganger, which is disguising as other survivors. But I still think it's ways that could work in DVD. But that's gonna wrap up this video. What powers do y'all want to see in DVD? Let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, If you're new and mess with my videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, love y'all, take care, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.
To the beat, y'all. Check it out. Come on. 1, 2, y'all. What you gonna